Okay, so Weezer takes a nice long pause at this point, and we can breathe easy because when they come back, the slump is over. 2014, everything will be alright in the end. This album, Weezer was back. And I know this was an absolute 100% conscious attempt. I mean, the song Back to the Shack directly addresses this. They're trying to get back to their roots. They're trying to get back to 1994 when the band was really cooking. And this album accomplishes that so well. This album sits alongside the first four so well. I mean, the lyrics literally apologize for their bad period. You have to give them so much credit for that. You know, I kind of look at this as like their equivalent of Eminem's Recovery album. Because on that album, he acknowledged, you know, my last couple albums weren't that great. And that takes so many guts, you know. There are so many musicians who just, you know, sweep their mistakes under the rug and never directly address them. Weezer addresses them on damn near an entire album. Is it perfect? No. I only have one gripe about this. The Future Scope trilogy at the end of the album, I just don't really see the point of it. You know, I feel like it should have been like a standalone EP or something. I just feel like at that point the album is done. You know, Foolish Father has the big, you know, epic ending, and at that point the album should have just wrapped up. Or at least spread those 3 tracks out, you know, across the CD. Don't just bunch them all together at the end like an afterthought. But small complaint, it's a solid album, what can I say? Now that brings us up to this year with the White Album. They're still keeping it up, you know, it's still Weezer's comeback. They're still going strong, you know, they haven't fallen into another slump. Now I have to say, this marathon I had this past weekend was my first time hearing the White Album, and it's not the best thing they ever did, you know, it's not as strong as Everything Will Be Alright in the end, but you know, it's along those same lines, you know, they're sticking to the same classic Weezer styles, except through a sort of odd, you know, Summer in California filter, you know, it sort of drifts in and out of being a concept album in some way, which, you know, the cover hints at as well. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, it doesn't bother me when Weezer tries to go a little more poppy, a little more like teen-oriented. But I don't mind when things get more poppy for Weezer, because as we saw with the Green Album, there's a way they can do it right. You know, there's a way they can do it very wrong. That was a major problem with Ratitude, is that they seem to be trying to appeal to an audience that they just couldn't appeal to, you know, it just wasn't their audience. But yeah, overall, after hearing this album, I'm still breathing a sigh of relief. You know, I'm happy with the place that Weezer is now, and I hope they can keep this up. Now, I think, from what I understand from interviews with Rivers recently, that the next album is going to be the Black Album, you know, confusingly, because, you know, there was the unreleased one before. But I'm interested to hear that, you know, since the White Album was so sunny and upbeat, you know, if they're consciously going back to the idea of making a darker equivalent, I would love to hear that. I love stuff like that. You know, like ICP's The Wraith, where they had Shangri-La, which was the more upbeat album, and then Hell's Pit, which was the dark album. I love stuff like that. You know, I love the sort of mirror image albums. So yes, that was my Weezer marathon. Who I'll marathon next, I don't know. You know, I like doing things like that every now and then, because I just like to hear how bands progress over time. And hey, if you have any suggestions of artists I should marathon through, just, you know, let me know in the comments. Until then, I am Steve, also known as your friendly neighborhood man in Magenta wig. I need to go to sleep now, so I bid you good night.